Welcome back to Persona 5 Royal. We got all of the 5 letters of introduction last time, and now all that's left is to head back, but there's no particular reason why Goho M's don't work right now, and there's also no particular reason why I'm going to go into the party and make sure that Haru is here. No reason at all. And I'm also going to bring Makoto and Yusuke. I think I'm going to charge up everyone's SP a bit. In terms of equipment, I've still got Salvation Crown on Joker. I have Adam Necklace on Makoto. I have Ring of Greed on Haru. And in terms of personas, I want to make sure that I'm leading with my Automar persona. Again, for no particular reason. I mean, there's no reason why I would need to have these skills that activate at the start of a battle at this point. I mean, there's nothing bad going to happen the moment we climb those stairs or anything. And there's no reason that everyone's all chugging energy drinks right now. No reason I'm going through my entire supply of Chunky Katsus. And no reason at all why I'm just walking up these stairs feeling like something really bad is gonna happen. Hello, something really bad.
Long time no see. You!
Why is he here?
I'm impressed that you managed to deceive me. It seems I underestimated your abilities.
You know, in your rank 8 description it says that you swore not to lose to us again, and to that I say, ha 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 ha!
You truly are interesting. Quiet, yet possessing the courage and determination to take action.
You just summed up silent protagonist there. It's hardly a unique trait.
Under different circumstances, we could have been great rivals. Or perhaps even friends.
Well, we already were rivals. Then you had to go and ruin it by, trying to murder us. Yeah, we can say this. About this it's not too late thing. If you go back to the Sayanijima boss fight, knowing that at that point, Joker knows that Akechi is the traitor.
To think that I, a detective, would act alongside the Phantom Thieves.
Yeah, you know, the offer's still open. I know you said you hated us earlier, but, there's always room for one more. We could use a frenemy.
By no means. This shall be the end of our working together.
Are you really sure about that?
That was part of our promise. You haven't forgotten, have you?
That was him giving Akechi one last chance to back out of this whole plan. Like, that was him saying, look, I know what's going on with you. You don't have to be like this. You can join up with us and forget all of this. Unfortunately, Akechi did not take the hint.
How wonderful.
And now, welcome to a sequence that I like to call Robbie Daymond wins an Oscar.
You don't allow yourself to be enslaved by such things as human relations or past selves. And so your heart is always free. The exact opposite of mine. To be honest, I'm envious.
This is why I think Akechi hates Joker so much, but I'll get into exactly the reasons when we get into the fight.
I wonder why we couldn't have met a few years earlier.
What, before you met Shido and decided to become his personal hitman? Yeah, that might have changed things. And here we get a plot-based rank up. This is the same as it was in the vanilla game, but I feel like the 8 ranks leading up to it are so much better implemented in Royal, and that retroactively makes these scenes much better.
Akechi.
But it's no use talking in hypotheticals. That didn't happen in reality.
Akechi, why are you cooperating with someone like Shido? Don't you see what this palace looks like? His true nature is...
Cooperating? What are you talking about? I don't care for Shido or this country. All this is to make Masayoshi Shido, my father, acknowledge me, then exact revenge on him.
Shido is your father?
Remember I said before, how my mother had been in a relationship with some good-for-nothing man?
Yeah, it turns out that good-for-nothing part was an understatement.
So I'm his bastard child. My very existence is nothing but a scandal.
And Royal adds a lot more context to this, because not only is Akechi the bastard child of a politician, but also by a sex worker.
My mother's life turned for the worse after she had me. And died. I was a cursed child for her too.
That's horrible.
I resented him, but he was already a high-ranking official by then. A kid like me could do nothing. But that's when it happened. That's when I learned about the cognitive world. Someone, be it God or demon, gave me a chance. I couldn't contain my laughter.
I've sometimes seen it said that Akechi gaining the ability to access the metaverse is like taking a starving child to a vending machine and giving them a sledgehammer.
You son of a... Who cares? My targets were all doing the same damn thing in this eat-or-be-eaten world. All I did was remove their evil from society.
How does Futaba's mother factor into that? She didn't seem to be doing anything like that.
How is that any different from the Phantom Thieves?
Significantly, you killed Okumura before he could fully confess and atone for what he did. You killed Futaba's mother for really no reason aside from her getting in the way of Shido's research. You also killed the SIU director just because he was a loose end. Yeah, the Phantom Thieves wouldn't have done any of that.
We're not murderers!
That too.
So what? Masayoshi Shido is finally within my grasp. Once he reaches the apex of his power and acknowledges me, I'm going to whisper in his ear. I will tell him the truth of who I really am. And that's when I, an utter disgrace to the world, will rule over him. I will prevail.
What a warped thought. It's almost pitiable.
Yeah, if Akechi didn't have a persona by now, I easily think he'd have a palace.
Just a few weeks, my plan would have come to fruition. But no, you just had to interfere. I can still take it back, though. I'll just need to kill you all.
We won't get killed for something like that. You talk big, but you're really nothing more than a little kid throwing a temper tantrum.
This same accusation was levied at one of the main villains of Persona 4, and Akechi's similar to him in some ways, but different in others. I almost feel like here, though, this retort makes a little more sense.
Don't lecture me, you piece of shit!
Given that Akechi literally is a child, like he's still a teenager.
I am going to personally thrust Masayoshi Shido into a living hell.
Yeah, the living hell that we could give him without having to murder anyone.
So, Joker, rest easy and die. I agree. There is no need to speak any longer.
You sure sound confident. Don't go pressing your luck. We already know all your tricks from back when you were working with us.
Yeah, we pretty much made sure to study your persona skills, just so that we'd be able to counter you in the future. That's why I've got to remember, as long as I don't switch to Nebulos, I'm fine. That's the only thing I have that's weak to Bless or Curse.
Joker, how could you be so successful while having such an idiot as your partner?
Hey, no one makes fun of Ryuji except us.
Huh? Quit bluffing!
It's no bluff. If he truly is behind the mental shutdowns, he's likely only shown us a fraction of his strength.
But yeah, that is true.
I'll tell you all about my true power. While you die, you can take that knowledge with you to the grave. Kill them! You stop me. The mental shutdowns aren't the only incidents people are talking about. There are also the breakdowns which cause people to turn psychotic, creating accidents and scandals. Those cannot be explained unless the true culprit has the power to make people's hearts psychotic. That's right. It's my power. One that you don't have.
He's gonna try something.
Allow me to show you! Persona!
What was that? That wasn't Robin Hood. Could it have been a different persona?
Even the feeblest existence can gain tremendous power once the chains on its heart are broken.
So you're basically inflicting distortions on other people.
You'd better not underestimate these two.
And of course, he ducks out.
What did Akechi do? The enemies are way stronger now.
And this is the same desperation skill that I actually never got to show Saya using, but trust me, she can use it.
That dark enemy's powered up. Watch out!
We have the spear-wielding general and the guard dog of Hades,
The opponent is strong. Don't do anything reckless.
otherwise known as Berserk Cuchulainn and Berserk Cerberus.
Strong. Don't do anything
Now, in
reckless.
Royal, Berserk Cerberus is actually weak to ice, which is why I have Yusuke here. And from what I've read online, if you defeat Cuchulainn and then knock down Cerberus and beat it with an all-out attack, it actually skips the next phase of this boss fight. But I'm not going to do that for my first attempt here. But yeah, these things have very high attack right now, very low defense. So apart from the elements that they repel, though, they don't have any weaknesses apart from, again, ice on Cerberus. So who's going? Okay, you're going next. Right then. I need to kind of make sure that I end this phase on you, because yes, there are going to be more phases of this fight.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's a weakness.
You got him, Fox. One enemy hit the ground.
Fortunately, I don't think I'm going to really be able to do a whole ton of damage on Cuchulainn through this, although I could Mabufudine here.
Nice one, Joker. You hit its weakness.
Okay, got a weakness on Cerberus. I sort of want to focus them down, because if they actually get to attack you, they do hit really hard. Okay, good. Cerberus is down. Cuchulainn's going next. If I get a crit with one-shot kill, that'd be pretty fun. Nope, and it's resistant anyway.
All right, clean. Super move. Ultra charge.
Okay there. Nice showing there, Akechi. Great one. That's kind of the story of his life in a way. Yeah, I'm gonna stay on, what boosts and amps do you have? Okay, you've got nuke amp, so I should go for a nuclear attack.
Well done.
That power to make others turn psychotic. He used it on actual people?
So technically, yeah, making them see things that aren't really there, but, yeah, the game doesn't really use this term correctly as far as the translation goes.
This guy's out of his mind.
Of course I didn't expect you to be defeated by them. You have deceived me and escaped death, after all. I wouldn't give up my chance to massacre you with my own two hands.
He's coming. Brace yourselves. The opponent is strong. Don't do anything reckless.
Goro Akechi here fights in a similar way that he does in the Royal exclusive duel in rank 8. He's just a bit stronger now. His main gimmick is that he really likes to focus on Joker, so that's the main issue with this fight. You can potentially run the risk of, oh yeah, of course, I'm already ultra charged. You can potentially run the risk of Joker getting an instant game over from, yeah, getting taken out too early. So let's go defense buff time. As long as you have resistance or immunity to physical, bless, and curse on Joker, Akechi's really not that bad. Actually, no, yeah, we're already charged and concentrated. I don't need to worry about that.
Kill them. Persona!
So yeah, now he's using Robin Hood for evil.
Next up. Come.
And yeah, it is interesting about Robin Hood and what he could represent for Akechi, because Akechi did mention much earlier in the story that in his Confidant that he did always have a childhood desire to be a hero. But one other thing that I actually think is kind of cool about Robin Hood for Akechi when you think about it, so think about it this way. Robin Hood is like the most obvious phantom thief, like noble thief character of all time. Like, when people first found out about this game and what the personas would be, everyone's question was, where's Robin Hood? Robin Hood is like the iconic noble thief in all of fiction. And to me, Akechi showing up, like, to the party with Robin Hood is the equivalent of, how do you do, fellow kids? It's like, again, he rocks up to the Phantom Thieves with the most obvious noble thief persona in the world. And of course, we weren't fooled for a moment.
So, neither of us had shown our true strengths, huh? Don't underestimate me!
Again, Robbie Damon winning an Oscar in this scene.
Kill them. Persona!
Oh wait, I don't think he's actually done yet. I thought this phase was over.
What?
Okay, well I guess this means that Joker can just end it. Hopefully this ends it. Yep, there he goes.
You did it, Fox.
Everyone, with me!
Beat him up!
We've done it!
Damn it!
Just wanted to make sure that I ended on Seiryu there so that I'd have the auto mask skill, so I'm pretty sure that what's coming up counts as a separate fight.
So he's able to turn people psychotic. I thought it was some special thing like the Nav, but it seems to be his own persona's power.
I can't believe that the ability to control and drive others mad was born from within his heart.
I'll kill you. You're all gonna die.
Will you please stop? You're fighting the wrong people! We both hate the same guy! Why do we have to go against each other? Killing us won't make you happy.
But
This ain't about what Shido says. You're your own person. You gotta know that.
damn it!
You know, sometimes I think about that fake medjed that you guys made up. That was the worst trap, but if not for that, I don't think I'd be here right now.
Basically, it doesn't matter where you start over. And you don't really hate Joker, do you? That smile before we fought. Isn't that how you really feel? Follow your true feelings. Even if you think people hate you or don't want you around, that's...
Shut up, shut up, shut up! Teammates! Friends! To hell with that! Why am I inferior to you? I was extremely particular about my life, my grades, my public image, so someone would want me around. I am an ace detective, a celebrity!
Akechi-kun.
You're just some criminal trash living in an attic! So how? How does someone like you have things I don't?
This, in my personal interpretation, is why Akechi hates Joker so much. It's the fact that Akechi rationalized everything that he did, all those people he killed, with the thought, I had no choice but to end up this way. I was abused, ostracized by society, there was no other path for me. And then he meets Joker. Joker is someone who was also treated horribly by those in power, ostracized from society, and yet he's a lot more well-adjusted, found friends, and didn't end up murdering people over it. Joker is living proof for Akechi that he didn't need to do the things he did, and that must terrify him. Because if he admits that, then his entire rationalization for killing all those people is gone, and I don't think he could live with that. So now, he just wants to kill Joker because maybe if he can just do that, if he can just kill one more person, he can forget all that and he can pretend that everything is fine and keep that rationalization from crumbling. That's my personal opinion on Akechi.
How can such a worthless piece of trash be more special than me?
And also, he has a massive inferiority complex. Yeah, you just need to stop.
This argument is meaningless!
What was that?
A black mask.
What about the other one, though? The one with the black mask.
A black mask? Wait, who's he talking about?
It can't be. There was another intruder besides us within this palace? Then what Kaneshiro said before?
These palaces can net you loads of cash. You could do whatever you wanted to people's hearts. I'll let you in on a little something. There's a criminal using other people's palaces to accomplish whatever they damn well please. They don't care about consequences, psychotic breakdowns, mental shutdowns. Anything goes.
So, you were behind the mental shutdowns after all.
And Madarame and Kaneshiro knew these things because they were working with the conspiracy.
Oh, this is great. I'm surprised. This is actually a first for me. I might even have to try my hardest against you. You know, I just came up with a fun little idea. I wonder how far I can go with this.
Fun.
You're not satisfied with where we left it either, are you? Isn't this what you really wanted?
I think this part was added in Royal.
You and I are going to strike and strike again until one of us is dead. To hell with holding back! Just picturing it sends chills down my spine. What Shido thinks of me? I don't give a shit! All I care about now is killing you to prove I'm better than you! Here, I'll show you who I really am. Come, Loki!
I watched this moment in a Japanese live stream, and I remember the chat exploded when he said Loki.
Ken, it's that persona.
What's going on?
Don't make me laugh. Justice, righteous, keep that shit to yourselves. You and your teammates piss me off.
He can use two separate powers? Then everything, even his appearance was a fake.
You're going down. I'll destroy you. Go down with me.
No way!
That bastard! He made himself go psychotic!
Now, let's see you drop dead one at a time in front of your precious friends.
Damn it, he's lost it. Here comes!
Die! Trash of society. I will kill you. Destroy you. Crush you.
And again, can we please just get a round of applause for Robbie Damon here? His voice must have been so sore after this recording session.
Teammates are nothing but trash!
His new persona's power is unknown. Everyone, stay on guard.
The opponent is strong. Don't do anything reckless.
So welcome to the real Goro Akechi, his true Metaverse Rebel outfit, Black Mask. And his actual weapon type, serrated swords and silenced pistols. The whole ray gun and laser sword thing was an elaborate lie. And also his true persona is Loki. So he has quite a lot of attacks, but the very weird thing about this guy is that he has voice clips for using ice and fear skills, but he doesn't have any of them on his current moveset, so that implies they reworked things during development. He also apparently has an invisible ice boost on his skill set, but it doesn't play into anything because he can't use any ice skills. But yeah, he uses a lot of moves, but his main gimmick is once again, he likes to attack Joker, as you'd expect. So you can kind of ruin this by using Tetracon and stuff. Actually, do I even get my buffs back? I probably don't, but you know what? If there's any time for Debilitate, it's now. Let's go Debilitate him. And yeah, you don't get healed between phases. He's not going next, so let's... Okay, I'm still... Yeah, I might actually have that effect applied again. I'm going to go ahead and buff everyone again with defense up. It's interesting how willpower is being used in sort of a dark sense here, because technically, like, he's had a persona awakening here, just, well, we're seeing his new persona for the first time, but this was in fact his original persona. I can President's Inside Joker right now, I suppose. I just want to wait and see what he does here. Oh yeah, he does like to do this as well. But as long as he's not immune to magic, I'm fine right now. And he does have Brave Blade. I don't like that nullification of, I believe he resists Bless and Curse right now, so I'm actually going to have to go back to you and go for Nuke.
You're mine.
Neutral to everything else, pretty much immune to ailments, so yeah, this is like... Pretty much just go all out with damaging skills. I don't want Yusuke to burn himself. So I'm just thinking what I do here. Because I kind of like to get rid of that reflector, although Yusuke is also charged. So, right then. Do I have any Tetra Hammers? This is like the one rare time I kind of want to use those. I actually do. Wow, I never thought that I'd be using these in this fight of all things. Is Makoto concentrated? She is not. Okay then. I often like to bring Morgana or Ryuji to this fight because I feel like they're also some of the people who I feel have a vested interest in kind of proving Akechi wrong here. But I brought Yusuke for the ice weakness earlier. I also brought this party for other reasons, but Haru, I always bring Haru to every single battle with Akechi. Thank you, No Despair. Thank you, Scoundrel Eyes. I am getting some pretty good use out of traits here, which makes a lot of sense. I feel like we could use a little bit of healing, but that is actually pretty expensive.
There. Much thanks.
I don't know, like, what the chances of me actually getting Haru to deal the final blow here, but it would be pretty cool if I did. I'm pretty sure Yusuke is still charged. Okay, you're concentrated. Let's hit you with the Freydine. Okay, he's below half, which means that we're starting to get into the point where, he might be trying to do some bad things against us. Okay, our buffs are all wearing off soon.
Allow me.
You know, in a sense, it's kind of fitting that we're using a father's accessory here.
You're just pieces of shit who lick each other's wounds. Anything goes. If you say you're teammates,
Yeah, we get it. Friendship sucks.
I'm not letting you off.
Okay, Makarakan. Well, I can get rid of this by bouncing a nullified attack into that. And Eiga on. Who's he going for here? Haru. Since he isn't immune to any of his own elements, you can cheese this quite easily with Tetracon and Makarakan.
Who's next?
Again, let's see. Alice repels Dark, so I can do this to get rid of his Makarakan. I eat Dark for breakfast. I would say literally, but I don't absorb it, so not literally.
Focus.
I'll use my persona. Now's our chance.
I like how Joker's doing the bring it gesture. That kind of fits for this fight. Okay, we are no longer defense buff, which could be a problem, but eat Sai. You know, it would be kind of funny if Sai was always technical because he was considered to be always under the effects of rage status. Yeah, see, he says incinerate for fire. He has a line about, like, freeze you fools. So, yeah, he was probably supposed to have an ice skill. But he doesn't have one for some reason. Okay, well, thankfully Joker's immune to that, but everyone else is going to be taking a beating from this. Oh, Joker's better than immune. I may need salvation right now, but I also need to... Again, though, I have debilitate in item form. But I also have salvation in item form. So, I think I'm going to go for debilitate off of Alice. I like how she just had that finger point. Okay, Yusuke's going next.
How undignified.
Okay, right then. Who's... Makoro is next, though. Makoro's concentrated, so I'd rather have you... Wait, no, is Yusuke charged? Yeah, question, is Yusuke charged? He is. Right. But he doesn't have enough HP to use a physical attack. This is actually one of Yusuke's biggest weaknesses. So in that case, I'm going to have him use the healing item. Yeah, here we go. Strawberry Daifuku. Salvation in the can. I don't like your attack reverting right before you get this attack off, but he is defense debuffed and under desperation, so this is going to... Yep, that's going to hurt a lot. Okay. Haru. You're not concentrated or charged. I would love if Haru actually finished this. Come on, Haru. Good one. There we go. So when he's on very low HP, he does... he'll telegraph this, so you don't need to worry about it too much. But he'll use his signature attack, Levitine, a very powerful almighty attack, on Joker. But again, he telegraphs that by, like, it says he's staring at Joker, so usually you can guard and it's not that bad.
Why are you looking at me like that? I've succeeded until now. All by myself. I don't need teammates. I don't. Send Loki!
Overall, not a hugely terrible fight, and a lot of people are disappointed that they didn't improve that fight in any way in Royal. It's one of the few boss fights that Royal didn't change much, aside from adding a weakness to Cerberus. And a lot of people think it could have used a change, but I'm actually pretty satisfied with how that fight went. I think it was pretty decent. He got a chance to show off a lot of what he can do. He even knocked down Yusuke, and Ryuji learned Charge, just in time for the Shido boss fight. Speaking of the Shido boss fight, there's actually evidence in the game that, yeah, no, I want to go for Mazuyonga more. Like, I use his Zio skills for shock, not for damage, so yeah. But yeah, there is evidence in the game's files because all of the cutscenes at this point are actually stored during the calling card heist.
Ready to call it quits?
And not at this point, which implies that you were intended to fight Akechi during the heist, right before fighting Shido, and not now.
I know. I've had enough. You're so lucky. Lucky to be surrounded by teammates who acknowledge you.
It's not about luck. You could have just made different choices.
And once Shido confesses his crimes, you'll all be heroes. As for me, people will find out my past deductions were just charade. My fame and trust will vanish.
Well, we've been through that, and we bounce back.
I see. So you were turning people psychotic, then solving the cases yourself.
Yeah, we, the audience, know this from the Shido exposition scene, but the Phantom Thieves don't yet.
And you did that by joining forces with Shido.
In the end, I couldn't be special.
Dude, you're more than special.
It pains me to admit, but your wit and strength far exceeds ours. We only defeated you by teaming up.
It is implied that Akechi has been soloing palaces this whole time, so it makes sense that he's a lot stronger individually.
I was honestly envious of your natural ability. It was frustrating to see how much my sister trusted you.
He really was your sister's right-hand man.
I have no intention of forgiving you for what you did to my father. But I sympathize with you.
I really like Haru's attitude here, and I like that they do this. They show that, like, not all the Phantom Thieves are going to say, oh, we instantly forgive you for everything because of your tragic backstory. That's not what this game does, because clearly Haru doesn't forgive him. She's just like, okay, yeah, I understand that you had sad circumstances, but that doesn't excuse what you did.
I wholeheartedly understand wanting to get back at the adults who took from you.
But when you gained the power to fulfill that desire, you only used it for your own self-benefit.
It is true, the Phantom Thieves were changing the hearts of adults to save people in danger, whereas Akechi was just doing it to feel better about himself.
If you've got more than one persona, maybe you actually have the same kind of power as Joker's.
Okay, I promised that I'd talk about this back with the whole vanilla Akechi rank 8, and I guess I can do it now. So, it is implied that Akechi is a wild card just like Joker. And that means my headcanon justification for why vanilla rank 8 works the way it does, and why original justice is automatic, is because it's not Joker's confidant with Akechi, but Akechi's confidant with Joker. It's just a personal headcanon of mine and not really explicitly stated in the game, but it would make sense. It's the only way to explain the rank up happening from him talking to a cognition.
But you trusted no one, so you only got 2 personas. One for your lies, and one for your hate.
Yeah, it's implied that Akechi only had these 2 personas because he had no confidants. But there is a lot of fan debate as to exactly what Robin Hood represents, whether it's his lie of being an ace detective and his fake lawful good persona, or if it is actually his childhood desire to be a hero that he explained in his royal confidant.
Still, you thought that was enough, right? That part I totally get.
You excelled at everything over us. Yet that was the one thing you lacked.
All right, let's go back and get that calling card ready. We're gonna take Shido down. What are you gonna do?
It'd be a problem if you kept getting in our way. Want to come along and help us settle things?
As long as you promise not to stab us in the back again.
Are you all idiots? You should get rid of me. If you don't want me getting in your way. You all are truly beyond my comprehension.
Akechi? Another one? Wait, is he...
That's Shido's cognitive version of Akechi.
I'll deal with the rest of you later.
This was another thing that was shared completely out of context when this game first dropped in Japan, and the collective internet lost their minds over this. It turned out to not mean what they thought it meant, but it was still fun to watch.
Captain Shido's orders. He has no need for losers. Well, this just moves the plan up a little. He was going to get rid of you after the election anyway. What? Did you truly believe you'd be spared after all the murders you undertook?
Yeah, all of your deductive abilities, you really should have seen that one coming.
Don't tell me. Were you actually feeling good about having someone rely on you for once?
I do find this interesting because it shows the tragedy of Akechi is that all this time he thought that he was getting back at his abuser. He's like, okay, I'm only doing this for revenge, but in the end, he was still playing into Shido's hands. He actually did just want Shido's approval subconsciously. It's disturbing and tragic at the same time.
Oh, by the way, the captain says it's time you receive retribution for causing the mental shutdowns.
The hell, man? That bastard's the one who put him up to it!
I see. I was wondering how he'd protect himself. If I used my power to tear through his palace. Turns out you're how. So he's making a puppet kill me. Sounds like something he'd do.
Yeah, given he was using Akechi as his metaverse hitman, it makes sense Shido would have an anti-Akechi countermeasure in his own palace.
That's right. I'll do anything. But look at yourself. You're the true puppet. You wanted to be acknowledged, didn't you? To be loved.
And this image certainly made the rounds online as well.
You've been nothing but a puppet from the very beginning.
You little...
So this is how Shido thinks of Goro Akechi? It's too horrible.
It's still not too late. We can change his heart together. Even if he's your father. No, because he's your father.
After all, Haru's already gone through that exact thing.
What's all this nagging about? Want me to take care of you first?
No, he's not alone. He has shadows too.
You know what? I'll let someone volunteer to take his place. Who knows? You might delay his death.
Damn you!
You guys are all about doing things for others, aren't you? Oh, that's just the same as me. I'm going to take all the blame for our captain. I'll die for him too.
This is what Shido thinks of Akechi-kun? Even after making him help with the murders?
Here, I'll give you one last chance. Shoot them. I was such a fool. Yes, that's the you our captain wishes to see. Don't misunderstand. You're the one who's going to disappear!
The watertight bulkhead door has closed. All personnel within the partition wall, evacuate at once.
Whoa, what is this?
Akechi! Hurry up and go!
You fool! Are you trying to get yourself killed?
The real fools are you guys. You should have just abandoned me here a long time ago. You would have all perished. If you had tried to face these with me weighing you down.
Akechi-kun!
Let's make a deal, okay? You won't say no, will you?
Why at a time like this?
Change Shido's heart. In my stead. End his crimes. Please! After all this, that's what you have to say. Seriously, you really are.
I am thou, thou art I. Thou hast turned a vow into a blood oath. Thy bond shall become the wings of rebellion and break the yoke of thy heart. Thou hast awakened the ultimate secret of justice, granting thee infinite power.
All right. All right.
Metatron!
Metatron is a high-ranking angel mostly relevant to the Kabbalah and Jewish mysticism. He's never mentioned in the Torah or the Bible, so is generally not considered canonical. But he's mentioned 3 times in the Talmud. According to some traditions, he's the ascended form of Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah. The Book of Genesis says that Enoch walked with God and he was no more, for God took him, which some think means he became an angel while others dispute this. Metatron is described as the scribe of heaven, and some go so far as to call him a lesser Yahweh. Metatron also features in mystical texts such as the Merkaba and the Zohar. In Persona 5, Metatron cannot be fused on a first playthrough until after defeating Akechi in Shido's palace, which is very late in the game. He also requires a special fusion of Michael, Sandalphon, Dominion, Melchizedek, Power, and Principality, which notably means you have to have maxed out Mishima's Confidant too. And Metatron is also required to fuse Lucifer, meaning, unless you're on New Game Plus, this is the earliest point you can fuse Lucifer too. But as for Metatron himself, his trait is Martyr's Gift, which is outclassed by the persona I just mentioned, and by the time you can get Metatron, you're likely very close to getting Lucifer anyway, unless you have a max star. Metatron has very good stats though, and drains Psi and Nuclear to begin with. A running theme with Metatron in the Persona games is that he can easily be made to null all elements. That's not true in Persona 5, there is no passive skill to null gun. Still, he learns a good mix of decent skills: Sword Dance for crits, Hammer boosted Mahama-on for Bless-based instant death, Bless Ant Makorga-on for Bless-based normal damage, Concentrate to buff that normal damage further, and Megadola-on. When itemized, Metatron makes Nataraja, a gun for the protagonist that gives +5 to all stats, +10 with the doubling glitch. This weapon's name is likely a mistranslation, as it's simply called Destruction God in Japanese, and Nataraja is Shiva's title, and yet Shiva makes Megado Fire when itemized. A name more appropriate for Metatron or Satan's itemization weapon.
You bastard! So, my final enemy is a puppet version of myself.
There are people who think the Japanese of this line should be translated as "My final enemy is the puppet I used to be," which is a bit more powerful.
Akechi-kun! Isn't there some way to get this open, Mona? His signal is gone. I'm only getting the weaklings. No.
Come on, you guys. We can't let a rotten criminal like Shido do what he wants any longer. We can't. No matter what.
Damn it.
Let that be the last life Shido ever takes. And if we view Justice now, that was something else that I remember people translated back when this game first came out in Japanese, because people were like, did he die? Really? And then they translated that description, and people were like, oh, okay then.
Hey.
Right. Thing is though, it's still pretty unclear.
Yes! Hey!
Now it's time to secure our infiltration route. Take our first steps towards fulfilling Akechi's promise. Let's go. That is one big Daruma. And a really big room too.
is that?
Huh. It's pretty rockin'.
So this is the main assembly hall? Probably. Dharma are often used as symbols of election luck. Plus everything else in here seems real.
One of the eyes isn't filled in though, so that means Shido's wish hasn't come true yet.
Odd. There isn't a single person in here. It sounded as though there was quite the crowd inside when we heard voices through the door.
Well, yeah, maybe they're just Shido's ghost echo chamber.
But given how it looks, this has to be the root of the distortion.
Yes, I'm picking up on the treasure's presence as well. There's no doubt this place is where it'll appear. Well then. Right.
I just want to see if they let us explore this room, and they do! So hey, we're in Parliament, as teenagers. Oh, I can't even get up on there. I, the great Prime Minister Joker, do hereby decree that vending machines, by law, must restock every day.
By the way,
And that's it. It's everything we can do here. Let's leave the ship and make our preparations to send the calling
What
card.
do you want to do?
Oh, this is going to be a very big palace recap. Holy crap. Yeah, and so it's over. That was a very, very long dungeon, but I personally do really like it. This is probably the most fun that I've had in any dungeon recording this game, so to all of those who were along for the ride, thank you so much for watching this far. This is all we've accomplished in one day. I definitely recommend doing Shido's Palace across multiple days. It's one of those that benefits a lot from that.
Yes!
I'm not quite going to end things off just yet because there's something that links into what we just did that I need to still show. Well, don't worry, polls, as I've said, can be wrong, and hopefully they're going to be wrong this time.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to be as tired as we've ever been before. Sojo didn't even greet us that time. Well, yes, we are certainly going to do that. Are you still down about Akechi? He was sort of both victim and perpetrator. I mean, I'm not sure if you would have become that bad, but I mean, Yusuke could have gone in a dark direction. But yeah, even Ryuji can't forgive him. It's good that there are mixed opinions on Akechi even within the party. It is something that I noticed and I commented on when I gave my thoughts on when I beat this game for the first time.
Akechi saved us all in the end. I think in his heart, he might not have been so bad.
Though lines like this I'm not a huge fan of.
Hey, let's succeed on this mission, no matter what.
Because it sort of feels like the game is just doing that. In the original game, it wasn't really earned all that much. Oh, we're still on this day with the whole police thing. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and get a massage, because boy have we earned this. Kawakami's like, wow, you're more tense than I've ever seen you.
Pressure master.
And he's like, well, yeah, I mean, my greatest rival just challenged me to a duel to the death, and then he just got, got into a Mexican standoff with his clone and possibly died. I'm not really sure. So yeah, pretty tense right now. Also tomorrow, we're gonna reveal to everyone that that guy that the public is obsessed with, that politician, has actually been behind a whole lot of murders and a lot of really, really bad stuff. But okay then, Actually, it's fitting to read this now, I think.
Make sure you close up.
Let's read a story about how somebody rose above their unfortunate circumstances and didn't end up a murderer because of them. Yeah, a girl who's bullied by her horrible family members.
Oh.
But I guess Akechi himself wouldn't have wanted to go out any other way. But the night after you beat Akechi in Shido's palace, in Royal, is important. Here, you need to say, you're my rival in rank 7, I accept in rank 8, and finally, I want to keep our promise here. This gets you something later. And on that note, I'll leave you, and I'll see you all next time when we steal Shido's heart.